This little sucker rips. I am going to really enjoy having this thing in the fleet.
I got something to say, something to say.
Hey everybody, how's it going? R-House21 here, and welcome to another episode of RC Physics. For those of you new to the channel, RC Physics is a channel dedicated to the science and technology around our favorite RC hobbies, including RC airplanes, RC cars, and in this case, some kind of cool, something that's a little bit new to the channel. So, I'm going to go ahead and do the whole unboxing experience. It's been a little while since I've done an unboxing on the channel. So very recently, a company that I've never dealt with before reached out to me saying, hey, would you be interested in testing out one of our products? And I'm never a person to turn down an interesting new experience. So I said, sure, why not? So this is actually pretty cool. So for those of you who've been watching for a while, you know that I have been into RC aircraft for quite a while. I'm a FAA certified drone pilot, but I don't have any helicopters. So when this opportunity jumped on me, or when this opportunity presented itself to me, jumped up at me, occurred to me, whatever the right term is, but when this came up, it's like, I gotta go for it. This would be so cool. So this right here is an RC era Bell 208 gyro stabilized RC helicopter, ready to fly. So it's 33 scale, or 1 to 33 scale. So it's a fairly substantial little aircraft. I get this is like a big little aircraft as opposed to a little big aircraft. But you see what I mean in a second. But first, before I open up, let's go ahead and see what the box says. So gyro stabilized. What's this say down here? Automatic stability system, brushless motors, which is pretty cool for this price point, because I think the list price of this is about $60 or so. Easy to fly, modular battery, one key takeoff and landing, and downward vision positioning. Okay, interpret that as optical flow sensors. I'll explain what an optical flow sensor is once I open up the box.
What that is basically a little camera that looks down at the ground, and it takes an image of what is above, and it uses that to help stabilize and maintain your position. That greatly improves your flying experience, so that the helicopter will hold its position well, and you don't have to worry about it wandering all over the place. So it would give you similar performance to some of the GPS enabled RCs and drones out there. So that's a great little addition for something that costs less than $100.
Say anything else interesting on here? Okay, it looks like this is available in 2 color choices. They've got a red and a blue. I went with the red. Let's see. Not a toy. This is a standard statement. A lot of things that are what we like to call hobby grade, these aren't things that you give to your 6-year-old nephew. These are recommended for people as young as 14 years old. Honestly, if you have a child in your life who's been exposed to this hobby for a long time, yeah, kids younger than 14, they'll be able to fly this, but you don't want to give this to somebody under 14 without supervision. And actually, if you live within the United States, technically this falls under the small UAS or unmanned air systems category. So you really shouldn't be giving this to somebody under 16 years old to operate unsupervised. And there's a whole process. So if you look up the Trust website, it gives a whole process that you do, a very simple training and registration process to basically prepare anybody who's going to be flying a small unmanned aircraft, such as RC planes, RC helicopters, and all that. So I'll put a link below to go to the Trust website to help set you up. But let's go through anything else interesting on the box. Cool pictures, model number, and this is just their entire, or I should say a larger sample of aircraft that they have available. You see they've got lots of cool looking aircraft here, and then they've got some little grayed out things. So I guess these are things that are on their product development pipeline, so more to come on that. All right, so let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. So first impressions, packaging is actually not too bad. that's a pleasant surprise. Some of these things, the packaging is not good. Okay, so we've got a manual here. Looks like a very basic manual. Okay, this looks like Chinese. Is that German? I'm going to guess that's German. I'm not sure. And then English. So I'm going to guess that means that the English is further in the back here. All right. Yep. So, all right, America. The English-speaking world didn't come first. We just have to humble our pride on that one. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside and just go ahead and start pulling things out. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Let's open her up. Oh, first things first, right on the top level, it looks like I've got a USB charging cable. Okay. Looks like you just have to rip this guy apart. It doesn't come back apart, but it's okay. So USB-C charging cable. That's cool. Okay, and comes with a little screwdriver and Allen wrench. So if you're the type who doesn't have a lot of RC tools, this could be very useful. Oh, and it's got a spare tail rotor. That's pretty cool. I'm just going to set that aside. And oh, and right over here underneath the plastic, it looks like it has another full-size rotor. Okay, so it's got another set of main rotors. So I'm just going to leave that in here then. And I'll put these guys in this little divot. And let's take it out. Oh, this is really cool. So it's got a lot of really nice scale details. Like just looking through here, we have all these little antennas all over the place. The jet exhaust, that's kind of a cool little thing. This looks like it's an actual LED light that's up here on the front. Looks like this is the battery compartment on the bottom with a power button. Good. Lots of good scale, writing and scale features in here. This is pretty cool. Oh, and you can see the tail end of the brushless motor sticking out in the back. So, okay, I like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, without looking at the manual. Oh, that's cool. This is the battery. It just drops in, just like that. So I wonder if I turn here. Oh, if I push the button, little red indicator comes on. So I guess that's telling me that the battery is not charged. So I guess this lets me, you push the button, you can get a charge indicator. I'll look through the manual and I'll confirm that. But what does it say here? So it looks like this is actually, so it looks like let's get here close so we can see. Will it focus? There we go. All right, so it's a 350 milliamp hour battery, 7.4 volts. So this is actually a 2S pack, which is pretty cool. All right, and I'll set this aside. So I only see one battery so far. Let's see what else is in the package. Got the radio. And this does not feel like a bad radio. It's so this feels like your typical ready to fly RC radio. I mean, those of us who've had a lot of these aircraft, you kind of know what these feel like. So for comparison, this is the radio that comes with some of the Eachine and Volantex Warbirds. So just looking at the two side by side for comparison, honestly, just feeling the sticks. I like the feel of the sticks on this one a little bit better. It's got, I like strong sticks, so a lot of resistance and spring back like here. This one, it's not too bad. It's just, this feels a little bit mushy, I guess, to me. Whereas this one maybe feels a little bit more, it's a personal preference thing. A lot of people aren't going to care. Okay, and you've got two controls on the top here. You've got a speed selector. So I guess if you're familiar with flying like a Mavic drone or a lot of the camera drones, you have a slow, medium, and fast setting. They call it like cinematic, normal, and speed, or like some cute names like this, but this is basically slow, medium, fast. And then it's also got this button right here, which is a takeoff and landing button. Okay, and these I believe, are trims. Let's see what it runs on. So it looks like it runs on 4 AA batteries. So it's pretty standard fare. And let's see what else is in the box here. Okay, it looks like that's pretty much it. So I only get 1 battery. I guess if you had different versions, you would have multiple batteries that would be in this position right here. But this is just a 1 battery setup. So, all right. So another key piece of information that you should know when you get a drone like this, and I'm calling it a drone. You know, some people are going to hate me saying that, but FAA, at least in the United States, considers all unmanned aircraft, such as planes or camera drones or FPV quads, as the same category. So they're functionally the same thing. So if you fly any of these things in the United States, if it's under 250 grams flying weight, you don't have to worry about flying it with a remote ID module. So I've got a scale right here. And let's see what the flying weight is to this guy. All right, so we're set up, we're zeroed, and full flying weight, 106 grams. So you do not have to comply with remote ID for this little guy. That's pretty cool. So, and I mean, I don't have a problem with remote ID. I have remote ID set up for my aircraft. But with this little aircraft, you just don't have to worry about it. So that's something nice to think about. Actually, so let me go ahead and charge up the battery and review the manual. And then we can go ahead and give this guy for his test flight. So if you notice right here on the side, it has a little USB-C cord for the USB-C cable. You can plug this up into any USB power supply. So standard USB-A connector right here, charger up, and get it going. So let me go ahead and get this on the charger, like I said. And when I come back, we'll be ready for maiden flight. Okay guys, I'm ready to go ahead and start flying, or do my maiden flight, this helicopter. First step, turn on the transmitter. Second step, hold down the power button on the bottom here. Okay, it initializes. Now I set it down on a flat surface, and now I see that there's a steady flash going through here on the transmitter. So I just go up and down real fast. Now it's paired. So now at this point, I can either go down and out on the 2 sticks in this direction, or hold down the button to launch. I'll go ahead and do this. Hold that, and it should take off by itself. It should take off by itself. Okay, maybe it won't take off by itself. There we go. Alrighty. So we got...
What did you practice?
No, I know how to fly. Alright, so it's drifting a little bit, so I just need to adjust the trims. So it's yawing a little bit to this direction. So let's bring it back. All right, so first flight, you want to adjust all your trims to make sure that it's not going places you don't want it to, which it currently still is. All right. So I need to trim this trimming. All right, that's better. Okay, let's bring it back in. All right, so it's not too terrible. It is still drifting a bit. So it is a little windy in this little pocket here, so it's getting caught in the wind a bit.
Oh.
But it's not bad. So it's relatively quick.
All right, so I'm going to bring it back over the deck. Hello.
Maybe you should blow his face out.
No, it's okay.
Lexi? No?
She's okay. This isn't too bad.
Hmm?
All right. So what happened there is the LED light started to blink, indicating that the battery was getting low.
Wow, wow, that's really short.
Yeah, well,
Short. Oh, that's by the way, my name's Nathan. Nathan, for the viewers.
Nathan. All right, calm down. All right, so what do we got? So that gave about 5 minutes of flight time. All right, so come. So you notice the LED on the nose and on the tail have a fast blink. If I was paying closer attention when I was flying, I would have saw that the LEDs went from a solid light to a slow blink and then a rapid blink. Slow blink is telling you that you're at the end of the battery and that's time to go ahead and set down. And when it starts to do the rapid blink, it just sets down. And that's exactly what it did. So that's my fault for not paying attention, but this is a great flying little helicopter. All right, guys, time for flight number 2. All right. So again, put in the battery, turn on the transmitter, hold down the button, see it come on. Let it calibrate. Pairing. All right, there we go.
So the first time was just to get familiar with it. The second time, have a little bit more fun. This little sucker rips. I am going to really enjoy having this thing in the fleet. All right, stability check. Okay, I'm feeling that it's not going quite as fast as the beginning, so the battery's starting to get a little lower, but it's still doing pretty well. Okay, this seems like I'm getting a little bit more battery life than the last flight. Now, I did charge it and let it sit for a little bit, so it's possible that the battery could have discharged itself a little bit. Some RC aircraft have smart batteries these days. So there we go. So now it's starting to blink, so it's time for me to go ahead and land. So let me go ahead and get it over the deck. Okay, let's get it down low. Okay. So let me pull it right here, get it over. So now, so it is drifting quite a bit. So I don't know, that's just me needing to adjust the trims a little bit more. There is a little bit of a breeze out here, but this is well within my ability to keep it in control. But it is something you have to take into account if you are a novice pilot, you know, being able to do the corrections. So if you're flying in the big field, you don't care. If you're trying to fly in this type of environment in your backyard, you definitely do care. So I'm just trying to get an idea now of how long it is between when I get the slow beeps, or the slow blinks I should say, before it's ready to set itself down. Okay. So I think I overcorrected the trims. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so it's a lot more stable. I am drifting back a little bit though. Let's come back forward. Not doing too bad a job holding itself. And there it is. All right. So you saw that when it gets to the end, it just drops. So that is something to be really careful about, because when it is at the end of that battery, it will land no matter what you are doing. So just keep that in consideration. But oh god, even after the second flight, this is pretty nice. I am very impressed with this thing. Definitely enjoyed that. And god, so I'll have to check the timer, but this was definitely longer than the last flight. So that's more fluid like I stole at that time, and I got more than 5 minutes, probably like 7-ish. So I'll check the time on the when I'm editing, post that in, tell you what the exact time is. But I am thoroughly impressed by this guy. It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't necessarily call this your first RC, like your first, I'll say your first VTOL, your first vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. Is not as stable as like a DJI Mavic, you know, so it's not going to be as stable as a full-on drone, but it's pretty close. I mean, especially like some of the cheap drones that don't have GPS assist, it's probably in the same ballpark as those guys for overall stability. So if you could fly one of those guys, you could definitely fly this. But this was a lot of fun. It's got a lot of power for its size. It's not slow. It can actually deal with a decent amount of wind. I am thoroughly impressed. I am going to enjoy having this guy in the fleet. So now that it's not powered, I can't start it back up, but I can show you just some of the cool operations of this, because this is a flybar-less helicopter. So a lot of cheap helicopters have this big weighted mass that they use for stabilization. This doesn't need that, because it actually has an onboard PCB with an inertial measurement unit, so basically gyros and accelerometers that can sense its position all the time, and it uses electronics to correct and stabilize the aircraft. So it doesn't need any of that. But it also has a full collective in here. So it's got 3 servos that maneuver the rudders so that you can get pitch and roll control all from the collective. So this is the same type of system that you see in the bigger, more expensive helicopters, and it gets yaw from the tail. So all in all, this is a really nice little flying helicopter. I got about 5 minutes of flight time without really even thinking about it, and that was mainly in hover. But you know, this kit only comes with 1 battery. Had this not been provided for my review, I would have definitely opted up for more batteries to have more flight time. Given the fact that it's actually a good company, I can just buy more batteries. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and do that and get myself a few more batteries so I can have extended flight times and just enjoy this guy. The brushless operation gave me plenty of power. This is a fun little helicopter, so I thoroughly approve of it. Great build quality, great scale. This is sweet. I'm going to be getting a lot more flight time out of this, and maybe I'll even show my son Nathan how to fly it so that we can fly together. All right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in. Our House 21 signing out. Remember the mantra: fly, fix, fly, break it, fix, and do it all over again. And if you're interested in a great little inexpensive RC helicopter that's super easy to fly, this is easier to fly than some drones that are out there. It's well stabilized. One great little helicopter. You're going to see me flying this a lot more. But if you're interested in getting one of these guys, there's links in the description and a promo code. So you can go ahead and get a 15% discount on this using my promo code. All right, guys. Great helicopter. Check it out if you're interested. Great gift idea, or if you just want to get into the hobby with something that's a little less expensive and you don't have to worry so much. But if you want to get an RC helicopter that gives you a lot of the performance of some of the more expensive blades and things you see from Horizon, but costs a fraction of the money, something like this is a great option. Again, the scale appearance is really cool, but it has great performance. It's just about 100 grams, so you don't need remote ID. It's overall a very solid package. So I think they knocked it out of the park on this one. All right, guys, our House 21 sign out. Remember the mantra: fly, fix, fly, break it, fix it, and do it all over again. Our House 21 sign out. Peace.